Hey, what's going on everyone? This is my review of No Man's Sky. I'll be reviewing it on the PlayStation 4 version, as that's what I played on. I put quite a few hours in the game so far, and I have a maxed out mining tool and an exosuit that has max spots. And I've seen enough of the game so far to give you guys my opinions on it. First off, this game is a space exploration game, and its main focus is definitely on exploring, and similar to Minecraft, it's about gathering resources. Now, I'm not going to tell gamers if you should buy this or not buy it because every gamer is going to be different. Everyone has their different opinions and what types of games they like. I want you to make up your own minds. But after this video, I hope all of you will have a better idea if this game's going to be right for you. The game starts with no real backstory, and there's not much story in the game. You're stuck stranded on a random procedurally generated planet, and you have a broken spacecraft. Your first goal is to go out, explore, and collect some resources to help fix your ship and head out on your journey. Now, I really enjoyed solitary play and exploration just by myself, so personally I didn't mind the lack of story, as I could make up my own ideas about who my character was, and I could make up my own story as I went along. I think the game visuals are great. Each planet looks very diverse, very different, but it does have a samey feel, and by samey I mean you kind of end up doing the exact same things on each planet as far as exploring, using beacons, finding the shelters, finding resources to mine, and the mining itself. However, the planets do look different, and the random procedure generation can lead to some pretty amusing animals and some of the environments, and I like that. It does feel different, but it does have a same feel. It's kind of hard to explain unless you really see some of it in action, and then you'll see. If you watch any streamers or anybody playing this game, if you watch for enough time, you'll see what I mean. They go to different planets, and you'll see something looks totally different than what you saw a minute ago. But what they're actually doing is probably very similar to what another streamer is doing or what they did 20, 30 minutes ago. They're doing the same thing on each planet, but the planet itself looks different. Now, there has been a little bit of contention on the internet, and that occurred because a long time ago, Sean Murray, the developer at Hello Games and the makers of No Man's Sky, they talked a little bit about multiplayer and whether it was a massive online multiplayer game and the possibilities of meeting other players. And now gamers are like upset and they're a little bit frustrated that it doesn't seem to be working properly. And what Sean said about meeting other players isn't exactly true. They found one instance where two players tried to meet each other and they couldn't see each other. So, of course, the internet, they're in an uproar over this, even though it's not that big a deal in my opinion. And Sean Murray, in most of it, he only mentioned it casually in a few interviews. This isn't the selling point of the game. The selling point was exploration and all these other things that are pretty true. Meeting other players was just a very, very, very small side note. But that's for me, and I personally am the type of player that doesn't really care about multiplayer. I prefer playing games alone a lot of times. And I can also imagine if multiplayer was in the game, and if it wasn't done right, how much trolling could occur. I've played in the Dark Zone in games like The Division, and I would prefer not to have those experiences happen in this game. The Dark Zone is a grief fest. It's a complete train wreck, in my opinion, right now. And if it was implemented in this game, if we had that same style of multiplayer, well, probably wouldn't be that much fun. As far as bugs and glitches in the game, I've not personally seen that many, but the game has had a few big crashes on me, and I've had to restart my PlayStation 4, and that's been frustrating. The developers have addressed issues very quickly, and I think the game is going to get better, which also leads me to my next topic. How much will this game change? Now, I saw the day one patch notes, and it's just an insane amount of changes that Hello Games implemented since the game went gold, and I can only imagine how much they're planning on changing in the future. I can't help but compare this game to Destiny, and look at how different Destiny is compared to vanilla version. And I can see Hello Games now having a huge influx of money from all the sales, and they can make a lot of changes. I think that this will help their budget, and this will help them make this game into something even more special. And they've already talked a little bit about it. They've talked about, in the past, they mentioned that they want to include base building, and it is coming to the games. And then Sean Murray recently talked about owning freighters and larger starships, possibly starship bases or stations. So that's something that I think they're working on. And I picture this game being a lot like Minecraft and a lot like Destiny and games now where it has so much access to the internet and you are able to update. The developers can make changes. I mean, if you look at Minecraft when it first came out and you compare it to now, I mean, the graphics themselves have roughly stayed the same. You're still in that 8-bit polygonal kind of world, doesn't look amazing. But when Minecraft first started, there were 8 blocks. I mean, there was nothing to the game. And now it's insane how much they've changed and added. So I think that the game is going to change quite a bit. Now, I still judge this game based on the version that I currently played and not that what I have or might have someday. I still want to judge it. What is it right now? And for me, I like it. I find myself enjoying the game. When I'm not playing the game, I'm actually watching other people play it. I'm watching some streams. And if I'm not watching them, then I'm actually just thinking about the game. I'm thinking about my character and what I'd like to do and what planets I'd like to go to. That's a good sign. When anytime a game has got its hooks in you like that, that's an awesome feeling. If you're the type of player that likes Minecraft, if you enjoy RPG games, if you enjoy leveling up a character and seeing that progression, and seeing gear stats, if you prefer single-player experiences, then I think you might really like this game. It does have a little bit of survival elements, so if you're one of the people that likes some of the survival games, it has a little bit of an emphasis on that. It has a larger emphasis and a focus on open exploration. But survival does come into play a little bit with just using your resources accordingly. And if you've ever gone outside and just looked up at the stars, if you've ever wanted to explore, and you've ever thought about life forms and other planets and stuff, I really think if you haven't already heard of this game, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. One small negative were the controls, at least the initial controls. Unfortunately, the game's controls and the option screen, it doesn't have any other settings. And when you go into the option screen, you can't change any of your button configurations. So I started the game and played the way it was set up, which was driving me absolutely crazy. So I went into the actual PlayStation options. When you go into your PlayStation main screen, you can scroll down, you can go to your controller, and you can actually make a preset for different games. You can at least have it set up differently. So I changed mine. For some reason, the game starts you with the left thumbstick is going to be your scan button, and your right thumbstick was sprint. Well, sprinting with hitting that right side and then moving your character with the left side, it just doesn't make any sense. And when you're coming from Destiny or any other first-person shooter, you don't do that. You run with the left stick and you're moving your character with the left stick, so everything makes more sense. So I just went in the PlayStation settings, changed it. It was much, much better once I changed that. So as far as what the developers showed, I don't think they ever really lied or showed anything different. They showed the ability just to run around a planet, scan alien life forms, name the aliens, jump into your ship, and then just take off into orbit and travel through space. And you could shoot pirate ships, board alien space stations, and all of this without loading screens. And that all works. That all worked flawlessly for me. I've seen 3 alien races, and I think that is the max. I would like to see a little more variety with them. That's currently where one of my issues is the game does fail a little bit there. I mean, you do have 3 aliens, but on each planet, I do the same thing. I farm, I find monoliths, I learn that specific alien language, and then I speak to those aliens, and pretty much all of them are in the same situation. There's one alien inside of a base, and he has a question for me. It's a simple three different answers. I pick one, which seems like the best answer for that particular race, and he rewards me if I'm right, punishes me if I'm wrong. You might lose a little health. It's nothing that bad. Death is not even a punishment in this game. Whenever you die, your items simply drop. You go pick them up. So it's not difficult. At least it's nice that it's not a punishment. And it does feel rewarding to learn the languages and see the progression when I speak to them, but I feel like they could add a little more variety to that. If they had a little bit more options. I'd love to see a city on one of these planets, or see more aliens altogether, or maybe a little battle between them, or if I actually had a choice, like I really had to pick between 2 of the races that I've been talking to. Ultimately, I still really enjoy this game. I still want to play it. When I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about it. And if you think that this is a game that you're interested, I really encourage you just to at least check it out. I would give it probably a 7 out of 10 because of the grand scope of the game and the fact that it's so different than anything else we've seen. It really got a few points for me just because of that. It's not a COD clone. It's not something that any developer just threw together that's just a copy of everything else. This is a huge, gigantic universe to explore, and it's something that's a really neat concept, and I think this is going to change the way games are built in the future. And I think the developers really tried something different here, and they deserve a little credit for that. So I'd say I liked it. I still enjoy it. I see myself logging in once or twice a week and playing a little bit here and there, and I really encourage gamers to check it out. If you're interested, watch a stream, watch someone playing it, give it a chance, watch a couple of videos on it, watch some of the videos I talk about on it, and just decide for yourself. But all in all, it's a very enjoyable game, and I see myself playing it for quite a while. If you guys have made it this long through the video, I want to thank all of you. If you're interested in more No Man's Sky content, then go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Mention in the comment section you'd love to see more. We'll do more on the channel. Thank you again all for watching, and have a good one. We'll see you out there.